All right, hello everyone. So, don't tell my boss, but today I'm off to the beach. So we have to set up some automations in the PIM so that Bluestone PIM can keep working while I have some margaritas. So I'm gonna show you how these automations are set up in the PIM and what we can do automatically in the background. So I have some new SKUs, some shoes, and just in from the ERP. And you can see here also in my category structure, I have shoes and then expanding that down to running shoes and sandals. And I obviously want to automatically assign into these categories. I don't want to sit and manually do this, even though it can be done in bulk. But if we create a rule, we can just automatically have these SKUs flow into the correct subcategories here. And if we look at the running shoe category, we have the rules engine here. And I can see any rule that is set. So here I've already prepared, I set up my rule for when I want to automatically assign products into the running shoe category. You can see this rule is currently active. We can also say that I want to remove products from this category if the rule that I'm about to set up is no longer true, or if this condition that I defined rather is no longer hitting these products, right? So in here, very simple, simplistic example where I just look if the name of the product contains runner. And this might work in a simple use case, but many times we need to add more conditions here to make sure that we hit the correct products. We can preview. In this case, it does seem like this is targeting the right products. And I will keep that rule like that. This makes it so that when a product comes into the PIM or when the name changes of a product, this rule will check if that name contains the string runner, and if so, put it into my running category. We can also see here now on the product in the history that rules engine here has indeed associated this product to the category running automatically. We might want to do a similar thing for the sandals. So checking the rule here, it's a bit of a different condition here. So let's check the query. We see that I'm looking at an attribute called product subcategory. Typically, this will come from the ERP. The ERP knows the subcategory of this product. Of course, we can then automatically just put it into the subcategory with the connector that we build to the ERP. But we can also take care of this business logic in the PIM. So I'm just saying that if the product subcategory value is sandals, then automatically put this into my sandal category. So two simple examples of automatic category assignment. Now we can also see that we have season here, and some of these products does not yet have a season. For example, the neon lime, slate gray and midnight blue does have a season. They go into the fall. For neon lime, I would like to automatically add that as a summer season value here. So let's go into the rules engine. So here we can see an overview of all the rules in the system. You see I have a rule here for setting the season to fall. I do this for the dark colors. But let's also now do an automation for lighter colors that I want to set the value to summer. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to edit attribute values automatically. The attribute I want to target is the season. I want to set that to summer. And we can now define again the query that's gonna make this trigger, right? This automation. And I want to look at the color family, and if that is any of neon lime or sand, let's say, I want this rule to run. And I save that. Okay, so now we have an automation both for our fall season and for our summer season. To make this easier to maintain, I can also give this rule a name. So this is set season to summer. I will use this for light colors and save. Okay, so we can, in the same way as we saw in the history that the rules engine have moved some products into a category, we can also see when the rules engine is automatically editing, for example, the season or other attribute values. So we have full traceability of this in our history service here. Another thing I would like to automate is publishing these products. So The enrichment team, with the help of AI, they will work on more enrichment here while I'm gone, and the completeness score here will increase. And once it reaches 100%, I want to just publish these to my ecom without having to manually do that. So let's create a rule for that. I go again to the rules engine, I add a new rule, and the action I want to do here is I want to change the status of the product. I want to publish. And now again, we have to set the query for this. So I would like this to work specifically for my shoes. So I'm going to say that if the category of the product is shoes, this also means anything below here, because I'm telling the condition here that it's for all of these nodes and the children nodes here. And I also want to add another condition, which is the completeness score should be 100%. So when completeness score is 100% for any shoes, automatically run this action, which is to publish the products. Okay. And I would say automatically publish shoes and complete. Okay, so now we have rules for categorization. We have automation rules for setting the season and also for publishing my products. Another thing I would like to do is automatically generate my product sheets here. So I'm going to create PDFs from within the PIM on a trigger. And this is another action in here, the generate PDF action. So we're going to use this product sheet. Just a quick look on the PDF generator and how this PDF will look once it's automated and generated for products. This is an example. Of course, this one you can modify yourself, the style and the layout of this PDF. Okay, so generating the PDF automatically from here, you just choose the sheet that you want to use, or the template as we call it. You schedule this, so let's say every day at 6 p.m. That's when we gonna run and generate these automatically. In addition to this, if there are things that have changed in the sheet, we also want to run this update. So what's going to happen then if we create automatically a PDF and the next day some of the product data in that sheet changes, we can have the new revision automatically generated as well. Okay, and this is something that I also want to do for my shoes. We could do this for all products as well, but in this case I'm targeting the shoes. And let's save this rule. And we're going to add the trigger events from the template here. So just to make sure that if something changes in the relevant data, we generate a new sheet or a new revision of that sheet. Okay, so now we have an automation for that as well. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to automate for today before I leave is the upsell relation between products. So we create one more rule. This rule is going to control product relations. This is a huge time saver when you set these rules up. You can connect things like spare parts or accessories, upsell and downsell, and all these things that you want to do between products. So here we're specifying the relation that we want to add automatically. So it's the upsell. And I want to do this from products where the retail price in pound is smaller than 300. So from those products, I automatically want to add an upsell relation to the products that are that have a retail price greater than 300 pounds. So for very expensive shoes, we're going to add a downsell to cheaper shoes and the reverse, right? So an upsell from the cheaper shoes. And here we would, of course, need to define this more narrow. Maybe it should be only running shoes from a specific brand or even a specific color and so on. You get the idea. But this is kind of a more broad upsell downsell relation I'm setting here. Save the rule. Okay, so now with that, we have automated the relations, publishing, PDF generation, season attribute, and also category assignment, just to check that we're getting the values that we want here. Yes, so now the season is updated already to summer based on this rule. Let's double check here in the history. where we do see that this the rules engine that has set this value. That's good. When we are at 100%, we're gonna have it automated to publish these products downstream as well. And of course the relations will also be coming in here. All right, so with that, I'm off, and see you later.